This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
Paradise Foods Limited celebrate 90-year anniversary. Supplementary budget discussed on the floor of Parliament. And PNG students attending the robotics competition in Singapore return to country. A very good evening. This is National Emtv News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. Paradise Foods Limited is the oldest established food manufacturing business in Papua New Guinea. This 100% PNG-owned business celebrated 90 years of rich history and a promising brighter future last night. In attendance was Prime Minister James Marae, Paradise Foods Limited board, management, staff and other important guests.
Paradise Foods is a business that has become a household name throughout Papua New Guinea. Over 9 decades, this business has won its way into the hearts of many citizens. For those overseas, a taste of Paradise Foods products is a reminder of home and loved ones here in Papua New Guinea. Michael Penrose, the CEO of Paradise Foods Limited, highlighted Paradise Foods' rich history and future aspirations that will foster growth for the company and for Papua New Guinea.
2023 will see the implementation and introduction of a brand new cracker line, which will see us double our capacity, giving us much needed production volume that will now see us start to expand not only in PNG, but start to really tap into the export markets, especially within the South Pac, and not stopping us from expanding into Australia. Tonight we celebrate 90 years of dedication, innovation and growth at Paradise Foods Limited. Our history is a testament to the resilience and spirit of the Papua New Guinea staff and the people who have played a key role in taking the business to where it is today.
Mr. Penrose stated that the celebration of this milestone is a testament to the enduring partnerships. The chairman of Paradise Foods Limited, Anthony Marae, shared the company's motto and journey to being 100% PNG-owned.
With no special grants or supports, no special tax treatment, nothing to reflect the fact that we're a 100% Papua New Guinean-owned company. We've managed to grow the business to over $500 million kina in revenue per annum and an over 600 million kina valuation as of this year.
The history of Paradise Foods Limited is a story of resilience, legacy of innovation and sustainability, and that of humble beginnings. Amanda Elaitia, National Emtv News.
During the celebration of the milestone achievements of Paradise Foods Limited last night at the Stanley Hotel, Prime Minister James Marae in his keynote address highlighted the future aspirations of the company and the government's support towards this thriving business.
Paradise Foods Limited, like any other company, has had its fair share of challenges in the business world. But that has not stopped the growth and success of this company. In 2007, Arnott sold their share to No. 1 Super and Comrade Trustee Services, making the company 100% PNG-owned and renaming it Paradise Foods Limited. Chairman for No. 1 Super Limited, Reg Monagi, elaborated on this.
Since 2007, when No. 1 Super obtained majority shareholding of the company, our relationship has only grown stronger as we witnessed the unwavering dedication, innovation, and resilience that have defined this company.
In 2021, No. 1 Super Limited became 100% owner of Paradise Foods Limited. Prime Minister James Marae stated the government's support towards the company and what he hopes will transpire in the future.
The government stands ready to assist. Your work in this sector, especially in the downstream, is complementary to our focus on downstream processing in core primary resource. We want to be a country that not exporting raw resources to market overseas, but we want to export finished product overseas. And food can be a leader in our finished product endeavors, and I compliment Chair and the Manufacturing Council wherever we can work in partnership, especially in your recommendations for government to give incentives to number one super in 2033.
Amanda Elaitia, National Emtv News.
Member for Chuave James Nomane and Deputy Opposition Leader Douglas Tomuriesa have urged the national government to refocus and reprioritize areas such as basic services in the supplementary budget. This is following the presentation of the supplementary budget by the Treasurer, Ian Lynn Starkey, today in Parliament.
Following the presentation of the supplementary budget by the Treasurer, the Deputy Opposition Leader questioned the government on the visibility of the 2023 budget, highlighting that it is of paramount importance that there must be transparency in the expenditure. Tomuriesa urged the government to spend the extra money to help reduce the tax burden experienced by all citizens across the country. The Deputy Opposition Leader called on the government to reprioritize key areas in the budget. This sentiment was also shared by the member for Chuave, James Nomane.
It's about the 24 billion budget, because we're passing this budget that's affecting the country. So I can't worry about just my district. I've got to worry about the national budget. And this is where there's got to be total accountability from the Treasurer in terms of how this money is being spent.
The member further debated that in the last 12 months, the socio-economic indicators have regressed.
That means they've gone backwards. Things haven't improved, things have gotten worse. And all the good Treasurer has to do, Deputy Speaker, is just walk to Erima and then he'll see for himself the state of affairs. My call now for us to be more transparent with the people's money is for the Treasurer to seriously look at repealing Section 31 of the Public Finance Management Amendment Act 2019, where it just clearly stipulates Parliament passes a budget, but then the warranting is at the total discretion of the good Treasurer. The Treasurer cannot usurp the power of Parliament. Parliament is supreme. Mr. Deputy Speaker, Parliament is supreme. If I'm passing a 24 billion budget, me worry lo this 24 billion kina budget. And business blame me, Mr. Speaker. Now when they come into Parliament, Treasurer brings a bill now. Budget come here, and then he says it's a 24 billion budget. I want to know exactly how this money was spent. Mila sawe simbuk si mamas.
Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
Department of Justice and Attorney General, the Magisterial Services of PNG, Department of Personnel Management, and the Department of Justice and Legal Services of the Autonomous Bougainville Government signed a Memorandum of Understanding yesterday to migrate the first 655 personnel and its component budget for personal emoluments and goods and services to the Bougainville Public Service.
The MOU signing is a reflection of the national law and justice agencies and sector in Bougainville that have collectively worked together since May 2021 following the signing of the SHARP agreement towards meeting the needs and aspirations of the people of Bougainville under the Shaping Bougainville Justice program. The MOU will facilitate and allow the national departments, that is, the Department of Personnel Management, the Department of Treasury, and the Department of Finance, to transfer personal emoluments budget and the goods and services budget over to Bougainville. Justice Secretary Dr. Eric Kua said this was a success for the law and justice sector as they have worked hard to achieving this outcome since 2021. This will basically deter the national government's personal emoluments budget and the goods and services budget, which is annually allocated to the Department of Justice and Attorney General and also the magisterial services. These two components of the budget will now be included in the Bougainville Public Service. This means there will be a minus to the national level budget and an increase to the Bougainville budget. Meanwhile, Secretary for Department of Personal Management, Ms. Taisa Sansan, congratulated the national departments of the law and justice sector in working with Bougainville government in making this a success. Secretary for Justice and Legal Services, Mr. Kenneth Nane, also shared the same sentiment, stating that this is a very significant milestone in terms of implementing the autonomous arrangement in Bougainville, and it only happened because of the cooperation from the national agencies. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
Lay Secondary School in the Marae province represented Papua New Guinea and participated in the 2023 first global competition in Singapore known as the National Robotic Competition. The team performed extremely well and was ranked top in the Pacific Island countries and returned to PNG this morning.
Upon arrival at the Jackson's International Airport, the team members were welcomed by family and friends. Lay Secondary School team leader went on to explain the competition.
The competition that we challenged about is, the name of the competition is First Global. And First Global is a non-government organization that promotes STEM education. And First Global is an international Olympic robotic competition. The competition focuses mainly on STEM education and getting youths out there to socialize, but not about the robotic competition only, to socialize and to learn about other countries' culture.
She further highlighted PNG's ranking in the competition.
We ranked 43 placing, which is top 50s, and we ranked the top Pacific Island country out of 190 countries, which is 91, which is a amazing rank for us. We topped the level, so we will go back to Lay, prep our next year's team to top it up. I mean, if the other countries can get the first place, we can get it too. Why not?
Cynthia Hales from East Sepik Province expressed her experience as a female team leader.
In a way, this competition has made me to be more confident in my society, to have an experience that I could go back, encourage other females out there to not be ashamed that you're a female, but you can do so many things. You could be creative and you could change your country as a female.
Another team member of Lay Secondary School, Jonathan Pinga, had this to say.
The competition is very challenging, and when you're in the match, there's a lot of pressure because it's not just you, it's like all the countries in the world. But big thing is our captain has a really good team spirit, so she keeps us all hyped. Once we're all hyped and once you're together, just focus on yourself and your team. Just don't think about what other people think about you. The most important thing I would want to say as a Papua New Guinean is, out there you have to be proud being you.
This is the fourth-time Lay Secondary School represented PNG in this competition. The team expressed that more efforts needed to improve on their next performance, especially seeking financial support. They said PNG can do better if and when there is proper support and guidance. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
You're watching National Emtv News. We'll bring you more stories after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. Officers from the Conservation and Environmental Protection Authority, as a focal point of the Coral Triangle Initiative on coral reefs, fisheries and food security, organized a coral restoration field activity and coral nursery demonstration. The activity took place at Tutu Beach in Port Moresby today that showcased the importance of coral restoration in safeguarding the region's marine biodiversity.
The demonstration involved the nurturing of fragile coral species, a critical step in rebuilding the damaged coral reefs in Papua New Guinea's coastal waters. Marine Project Officer for the Conservation and Environment Protection Authority gave background information on the field activity.
The coral nursery emerged as kind of a strategy tool to restore and enhance the resilience of degraded coral reefs. So it serves as a vital platform for propagating and transplanting of healthy coral colonies back to the degraded sites. So the concept of coral nursery is new in PNG. Unlike the coral restoration has been part of our traditional practice in marine conservation.
One notable supporter of this initiative is Total Energy, which recognizes the paramount importance of environmental conservation. The corporation is proudly backing the coral restoration field activity and coral nursery demonstration, emphasizing its alignment with their commitment to preserving the environment.
In supporting conservation efforts like what SEPA is doing now, the Coral Triangle Initiative, as well as the local NGOs that are looking at restoring the mangroves and the coral reefs, it's something that the company is really happy to support as part of our community engagement and part of our offset programs.
This initiative to protect and restore the fragile ecosystems of Papua New Guinea's coastal regions has been greatly acknowledged by Lady Carol Kidu, a marine conservationist.
This initiative by SEPA and the Coral Triangle Initiative is extremely important. Extremely important. I am so pleased that they've chosen to come here to Tutu Beach to be part of the whole project. I came here over 30 years ago, and I've seen the marine environment gradually be degraded and completely destroyed because of over-picking of things and overuse of things. And we had started ourselves here, just a small initiative. We put out one coral frame and trying to get some interest with the community.
It is hoped that such activities will contribute significantly to the long-term preservation of the country's marine biodiversity and further inspire environmental conservation efforts nationwide. Louis Mangu, National Emtv News.
The Papua New Guinea Defence has launched a force-wide medical checkup for its soldiers at Marae Barracks in Port Moresby yesterday. The event was officially launched by Acting Chief of Defence Force Commodore Philip Polewara, who was the first participant in undergoing a series of medical checkups performed by Army doctors and nurses of PNGDF Directorate of Health Services.
Commodore Polewara highlighted medical checkup was vital because soldiers have to be physically and medically fit for operation. If the soldiers are well and healthy, they will serve the country well. Sharing similar sentiment, PNGDF Director of Health Lieutenant Colonel Peter Kaminiel said this exercise is also important as the medical checks will find out the main cause of sickness that are common in the force and will prepare programs to try and avoid it. He said over the years and the past months, PNGDF has been facing a lot of deaths due to common lifestyle diseases. This has also cost the Defence Force a lot of money, especially during repatriation and medical expenses. Therefore, PNGDF, through the Office of the Commander, has seen this as an important activity that will help stop these problems in the force. The medical checkups consist of urinary, ear, eyesight, weight, body index, heart rate, and blood test. The test was conducted to all PNGDF headquarters staff, and it will continue down to Basilisk Naval Base on Friday to all Navy ship sailors. Next week, the medical team will conduct this exercise to all Port Moresby base units. After completing the Port Moresby base units, the medical team will move out to all the PNGDF outer units to conduct medical checkups to the soldiers. Gladys Skilla, National Emtv News.
Pacific Media Solutions, a local filmmaking company, has finally received a certificate of recognition from the National Cultural Commission today.
Peter William is also one of our local filmmakers. According to Steven Kilanda, the Executive Director for NCC, this certificate of recognition is a step forward for the Commission to recognize a film-producing company. He said Pacific Media Solutions is the first recognized film company in the country. In Papua New Guinea, the film industry is a very costly exercise. However, he commended the Pacific Media Solutions for investing their own resources at their own capacity to deliver and make the industry work. Pacific Media Solutions producer Spencer Peter Williams said that being in the film industry comes with so many challenges.
Movie production work is like very expensive. Not like you go to cover the event and just one day, but in movie like one whole day, one scene takes one whole day. One whole day means you have to get whole the angles, light, reshooting again to make it perfect. And then when you edit, like you have about 1 terabyte of one scene only. That means very expensive.
Despite these challenges, William is glad to be a part of the film industry, and it is something he is passionate about. The Pacific Media Solutions was established in 2014 and it is specialized in filming and commercials, corporate video production, and social marketing and documentary. Apart from the certificate of recognition, an additional 20,000 Kina Dami check was also presented to Pacific Media Solutions to assist the company in completing their movie project Black Python, which is anticipated to be released in December 2023. Gladys Skila, National Emtv News.
Meanwhile, the Executive Director for the National Cultural Commission, Steven Kilanda, is appealing to all filmmakers in Papua New Guinea to partner with the Commission to develop the film industry. Kilanda says the film industry has been a sleeping giant and it is time to explore the industry.
Kilanda said NCC is in the process of developing the national film policy and also the legislation to regulate the film industry, and the Commission is open to work with all local filmmakers. He said the film industry is one of the expensive industries. However, he explains the advantages the film industry can bring to a country.
Film industry is one of the biggest industry in the country, and it's also the sleeping giant. The film industry itself can boom the economy of the country. The film can create employment. The film industry can market this country in terms of tourism.
Kilanda added, although NCC is a small government agency, it is also a mandated agency in charge of the film industry. Hence, he is appealing to filmmakers to participate in developing the film industry moving forward. Gladys Skila, National Emtv News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2710 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Yukina was buying $0.2635 US, $0.4082 Australian dollars, $0.2407 euro, 38.94 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading higher, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower, copra closed higher, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. The Department of Justice and Attorney General last night launched for the first time in country the Lands Commission. The official keynote speaker and representing the Prime Minister was Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso. The official keynote speaker and representing the Prime Minister was Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso, who was present, and the Minister for the Department of Justice and Attorney General Pilaniningi to witness the launch of the Lands Commission. Minister Ningi, who was thankful to the Prime Minister to have the Lands Commission under his ministry, said this will make way for landowners to know and understand the processes involved when it comes to protecting one's land.
I am pleased to say that the Land Commission Act 2022 became operational on the 2nd September 2022 by an act of Parliament, whereby dissolving the Land Titles Commission and the National Land Commission to amalgamate them into the now Land Commission of Papua New Guinea. The status of Land Titles Commission and the National Land Commission. As we all know, the former Land Titles Commission was responsible over the conversion of customary land to freehold land.
Present to talk more about the difference between the Lands Commission and the Lands Department was Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso.
The Land Commission that we stand here tonight is an amalgamation of the Land Titles Commission, previously done, and the National Lands Commission, which was previously abolished, and both of them now combined to what we see here today is the National Lands Commission, if I'm saying it right. But it needs to work in cohesion with the Lands Department. And I not only stand here as a Deputy Prime Minister, but also as a Minister for Lands. And lands, we need to work very closely with the Commission to ensure we achieve all those dreams and aspirations that we desire as a country moving forward.
He added that there are 3 types of land titles and that the government, through the Lands Department and now the Lands Commission, will help to identify various types of land. Through Lands Commission following its launch last night will be working under the Ministry of Attorney General. Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Marae yesterday received a word from the Chinese government that the department will be supported with 1 million kina to carry out feasibility studies on the possible free trade agreement. Minister Marae yesterday thanked the government and the People's Republic of China for providing the funding to undertake the feasibility study, which will amount to around 1 million kina under the Grant Assistance Program, and the government of PNG to provide 2 million kina for this study.
What I want to say today is the PNG government is going to contribute 2 million kina towards the study, which will cost 3 million. And I want to thank the Chinese government for committing to provide 1 million kina. My message to the Chinese government is simple. We won't wait for you. We'll put our money where our mouth is and we'll get the studies started. Whenever you decide to release the funds to our department, we'll be appreciative of that, but we cannot wait. We will go ahead with our funding.
He further clarified that the feasibility studies will be carried out for approximately 6 months, and by early next year, results should give the country where it stands and what services should be operated under the free trade agreement between China and PNG.
And our largest and most important trading partner. Trade between our 2 countries has now taken a leap to about 15 billion to a trade between our 2 countries. And China is easily becoming Papua New Guinea's most important trading partner. And I want to thank you, government of China and the people of China, for giving priority to PNG in terms of trade and investment, and in particular providing us market access for our LNG and other products that we are selling to China, and undertakings that you will continue to be open and a big market for Papua New Guinea well into the future.
He said this is the way forward for the 2 countries to strengthen their bilateral relationship, not only through goods and services, but also to build human capacity when it comes to business in both countries. Moving forward, Minister Marae is looking forward to working together with China to grow the business partnership between the 2 countries. A police officer attached to the police media unit at the police headquarters was arrested and charged with 2 counts of driving carelessly and caused the death of a couple on September 30th along Magi Highway in the village of Gaire in Central Province.
After causing the accident that claimed the lives of 2, the police officer surrendered to police this week Monday, where he was formally charged and subsequently taken to Boroko Police Station for detention. Central Provincial Police Commander Acting Superintendent Laimo Asi confirmed that the officer has been charged under Section 328, 2 and 5 of the Criminal Code Act and are being held in a cell at Boroko Police Station. He said the officers dealing with the case had been told to ensure justice was served for the 2 deceased relatives. According to police officers who attended the scene at Gaire, the policeman was heading towards Port Moresby when he got involved in the accident that claimed the lives of the couple. According to the police, the wife died instantly while the husband was taken to the hospital and died a few hours after the accident. PPCRC also thanked the police officer for voluntarily presenting himself to investigators on Monday, where he was formally charged and detained. In other news, PPCRC also added that 12 suspects arrested in Kwikila for assaulting a police officer were examined and 4 of them were found to be involved in seriously injuring a police officer. He said the remaining 8 people accompanying the 6 were strongly warned and released, but their identities were kept by the police. PPC said the investigation is progressing, and if the 8 people who were warned and released are also involved, they will be recalled back and will be charged accordingly. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
The casket of the late Steven Pim, member for Day Open, lay in state at the Parliament chambers today for the last time. Members of Parliament, including the Prime Minister, bid farewell to the late MP.
For the last time, the casket of the late member for Day Open, Steven Pim, entered the Parliament chambers. Members of Parliament took turns to farewell the late leader, to whom many have described as a visionary leader who would have done so much for the people of Day. Prime Minister James Marae, while paying his respect to the late leader, described Pim as the matured politician who always stood up for his people and passed on his condolences to the family of the late member.
The late member was a very genuine leader. From the opposite side of the House, he would say no when he felt it was no, but he would say yes when he felt it was time to say yes on matters of interest for our country.
The former Prime Minister and leader of the PNC party, Peter O'Neill, also paid his respects.
Honourable Steven Pim fitted very well into this Parliament. He was strong, he was balanced, and always found ways every day to care for his people.
Joining the 2 leaders to convey the last respect to the late leader was the Minister for Sports and Higher Education, Don Polier.
A body will always go down as it was meant to be. But what must live forever is the values, the eternal goodness, the eternal ideals that one lives is the one that must live in the family, in the wife, in the tribesmen, in the supporters, and us on the floor of Parliament. Let goodness of love, peace, forgiveness, reconciliation, those values forever reign in Papua New Guinea. Let there be peace. From the death of this honourable leader, let's lend those values.
Polier highlighted that the late member was someone who would turn an unfriendly environment into a friendly one. He was the beacon of peace for his community, district, province, and the country. Minister Polier urged the leaders to adopt the good qualities that the late member portrayed. The late Steven Pim is survived by his wife and 4 children. His body will be flown to Mount Hagen tomorrow, where he will be laid to rest. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
Meanwhile, preparations are currently underway in Western Highlands province to receive the body of the late member for Day Open District, Steven Pim. Governor for Western Highlands, Wairapa, briefed the media of the funeral arrangements of the MP.
Governor Rapa confirmed that he was accompanied by the provincial executives and paid a visit to the outcry of the late Pim hosted in Port Moresby. He passed on the 24th of September. The late member hails from one of the tribes in his district, known for their engagement in tribal warfare, the Rolga tribe, of which he was the advocate for peace between the 2 tribes. And on that note, Governor Rapa has urged for peace amongst the people of Day as the province prepares to receive late Pim tomorrow.
Law Western Highlands province, you mean no sagat one bla leader and stop long government am die. That's the sad thing for Western Highlands province. No leader being a leader and losing term long am not die too early like that. Steven is a very young leader. He's got a very young family, and he's just been in office as member for Day for just 1 year now. I'm losing 4th year term long now, and die also man. I'm one plus sad thing when me talk sorry too long. All family belong Mrs. belong all Pingini belong now all brother belong.
According to the governor, the parliamentary service will hand over the body to the provincial assembly at the Marae House before departing to Muglam in Day district, where the late MP will be laid to rest. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The most anticipated games in the country, the PNG Games, will take place in Port Moresby come December following the 2023 Pacific Games. Now, one of the most controversial sporting events in the country, which is the PNG Games, have been deferred from Mendi and will now take place here in the nation's capital in Port Moresby, where Sports Minister Don Pollier says the games will be played in Port Moresby with only 11 sporting codes, where several sporting federations will assist the PNG Sports Foundation and the Olympic Committee to host the 2023 PNG Games in the nation's capital. Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby mostly cloudy with few rain showers. Daru rain periods with possible thunderstorm. Kerema rain periods tonight, then cloudy morning. Alatau cloudy with brief showers. Popondetta rain showers and possible thunderstorm. In the Mamase region, Ley cloudy with few overnight showers. Madang, Wewak and Vanimo partly cloudy with a shower or 2. And in the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau and Kavieng, cloudy periods with overnight few showers. Kokopo and Rabaul, cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorm. Kimbe, partly cloudy with few overnight showers and possible thunderstorm. Buka, cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorm. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, rain periods tonight, then scattered morning fog. Goroka and Kundiawa, rain drizzle tonight, then morning fog. Mendi and Wabeg, rain periods tonight, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Thursday, 12th of October 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.